It takes two to tango, and by tango, I mean fucking. Out of that duo, we typically are putting so much spotlight on the person bottoming. Douching, prep, aftercare, and all that. But today we are pivoting the spotlight completely to the top. For too long, we have said,
tops have it so easy.
But in all reality, the person topping has a lot of responsibility. Today we're gonna cover some tips that are going to help those that top give better tips themselves. Before we get going, I wanna make something crystal clear. Typically, we use bottom and top as a verb first around here. People are absolutely verse and can be flipping in the bedroom. It's amazing if you identify as a top or a bottom. Hell, I identify as a power bottom. But we need to get into the habit of not putting each other into boxes and condensing each other down to our sexual preferences, because we are all so much more than that. Verb first. Let's get into it. The first thing that tops need to know about bottoming is communication is everything. I know we cover communication all the time on this channel, but I'm going to keep communicating the importance of communication. This is a tip that too many people assume but don't practice. One of the best ways to make sure your partner is actually enjoying the bottoming experience is to simply ask them and not make assumptions. Using your words is not only communicative and courteous, it's hot as fuck. This communication absolutely includes asking the person that's bottoming if they're feeling loose enough, stretched out enough, all of the above, because you don't want to be purchasing tickets to Pound Town if no one is ready to get on the train. Some of y'all are rushing into things way too damn quickly, and that's because you ain't using your words.
But Alex, they didn't tell me they were tight.
Penetrative sex is typically a two-way street, so maybe you shouldn't be participating in mature activities if you can't be mature and use your words. Questions and statements like, how does that feel? Are you into dirty talk? Do you want me to go harder? Do you want me to slow down? You feel super tight. I'm gonna pull out and stretch you out a little more. You don't see these questions pop up in porn because porn isn't real life, babe. Even if it's a hookup, asking these types of questions is only going to benefit both of y'all's experiences. I know for me, if I'm feeling safe and respected, even if things are getting super nasty, my hole is gonna open up for whatever the hell you're serving up. But on the other side of that coin, if you're just treating me however the hell you want and having your way without talking to me,
I'm gonna tense up and tighten up so much that you'll be lucky if you can get a pinky inside of me.
nonverbal noises count as communication too. Rough grunting, moaning in ecstasy when things are getting a little too good, let it out. Again, back to porn. I hate when you're watching porn and the bottom is moaning so loud that your phone screen is about to crack, but the top looks like he's holding in a fart. Don't be afraid to let out all the noises. Your neighbors ain't paying your rent, so don't pay them any mind. Communication, capiche? The next tip for tops is to spend a little more time foreplaying. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. The rectum, aka where you take it, is a muscle and it needs to be warmed up just like any other muscle before you work it out. Foreplay is hot as hell, and if you do it right, y'all might not even get to penetration, at least this round. But it is more than skull fucking, okay? Look at me in the eye, it's more than skull fucking. It's a magical world of exploration and endless opportunity. Rim jobs are iconic, so add some variety to spice them up even more. Blow a little cool air on your partner's hole to make them clench up a little bit. A little warm air to make them relax a little bit. Lick different shapes like stars and triangles. Hell, spell out your name with your tongue. Got a little scruff? Rub that up on their hole gently while you take your fingertips and run those down your partner's back while you nibble on their butt cheek a little bit. Squeeze and massage their ass while you lick from the balls to the taint. Nipple play, massages, blowjobs, making out. Holy shit, is it getting hot in here. Oh my God. The point is, mix it up. If you want someone to moan your name to the high heavens, be prepared to earn it. Now, not all people that top are dominant, but this one is specifically for dom tops. If you're more of a dominant top, let go of dominance for a moment and let the person bottoming choose the position to start in. Joking about destroying a hole is one thing. The reality is a whole lot worse. When the person bottoming gets on top and straddles you, they have the most control over entry, depth, rhythm, all of this leading to sex lasting longer and being more enjoyable for everyone involved. Cowhand position, especially for me, helps the person bottoming really open up and get used to your dick being inside of them so that eventually you can take the charge. Plus, this gives you an opportunity to sit back and watch what angles and depth works for your partner so that you got a little inside tea when it's your turn to do the thrusting. Speaking of thrusting, we've got to talk about your rhythm. I get asked all the time, is it the size of the boat or the motion of the ocean? And bitch, 1000% it is the motion of the ocean. No matter how big or small the package you're packing, learning how to use your pelvis is going to be your new secret weapon. Don't get me wrong, pounding can be fun, but it can also get lame and boring really fast. And it's not always a safe way to start. There's too many times where I see people just go right into pounding. Get there. Work up to that. Don't just start with that and stick with that. It's lame as shit. Some super easy ways to get more in tune with your pelvis is to try yoga poses like cat-cow, standing on a yoga block and using your pelvis to raise and drop your hips, and to just stand in front of the mirror and practice moving your hips around and around and around until you feel that mind-body connection, bitch, because some of y'all, you're relying too much on your upper body strength and not enough on your pelvis. I'm telling you, the minute you learn to control the motion of the ocean in them hips is the minute you're going to hear the most authentic moans in the bedroom. This leads me into the next tip. You can't have anal sex without lube, and when it comes to anal, there's no such thing as too much. A lot of times the person topping is the one putting the lube on, so you have a responsibility here. If you're applying lube to yourself as the top, put another pump or two for reassurance. Again, there's no such thing as too much. Hell, add a little more to the booty hole of the person bottoming, and you're off to a slick start. But please, for the love of God, stop spitting on your dick and opt for silicone lube. Spit is full of enzymes made to break down food and to kickstart digestion, and that's only going to dry out the areas that you're applying it to, which is the exact opposite you want during anal sex. I can't stop y'all from using spit, but start with silicone lube and reapply it often. Like a lot, more often than you think. If you are gonna spit on your dick, do it for the theatrics and let lube do the lubrication. All right, we've covered so many good tips, and I hope you're just sitting over there being like, I feel like I'm ready to be the best top ever. But there's one more tip to cover, and this is probably the most important tip of all. You need to make peace with poop. My Southern family has this really great saying that I live by, and it is, do not get in the pool if you're afraid to get wet. Just like you shouldn't be totally shocked that you're wet because you got in the pool, you shouldn't be shocked that there's a little bit of poop every once in a while when you're having sex with a butt. Wow, shocker, it's a butt. Instead, if you notice a little bit of poop, go back to tip number 1 and flex those empathy skills, baby. Question number 1, and this is the only acceptable thing if you ever notice any, is, hey, are you feeling comfortable? If the person bottoming says yes, wipe up and keep going and reevaluate in a couple minutes. You're the one that can see everything that's happening. When you ask if they're feeling comfortable and they say, well, actually, no, now that you ask, that's when you ask some more questions. Do you want to hop in the shower together and keep it going in there? Do you maybe want to switch back to foreplay? Do you need to take a break? Check in, because a little bit of empathy is going to make you pretty irresistible in the moment, but also you're going to feel better about yourself. Being a shaming douchebag is not going to make you feel any better, and trust me, it will catch up with your lonely ass one day. Don't get in the pool if you're afraid to get wet, okay? Put on your floaties if needed and get ready to dive ass deep. It's a lot more fun over here for the brave. And you know I'm always here with the bonus tips. This one is vital. Why don't you try to bottom a little more every once in a while? Whether it's a finger, a toy, or the real deal, trying to bottom more is only going to give you real world experience, which is going to build onto your empathy and make you a better sexual partner. I don't top much, but when I do, I know what to apply to topping based off of what I love from bottoming. And most importantly, you start to really realize that loosening up and relaxing is a vital part of anal sex. And when you bottom yourself or know that it does take a minute, you're a little less hesitant to just jam your dick into someone and give it a minute. The real empathy involved here is making sure no one walks away with an anal fissure, okay? Topping and bottoming both have their own challenges, don't get me wrong. but they both feel incredible when everyone is communicating and present. I know it's easier said than done, but you need to practice. Don't beat yourself up if you heard any of these tips today and thought, oh damn, I could have done that better, or oh, I could have done that with this hookup. It's not about that, baby. Today's a new day, and now you've got these tools in your toolbox for the next time you spread somebody's cheeks. If you really want to impress the pants off of someone, make sure you watch this video so that you know how to take care of someone's ass after you've done your damage to it. If we just learned one thing today, it's empathy. Practice it often, and on that note, bottoms up.